hurting.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Let me be clear. Donald Trump has zero credibility on the issue of election integrity. He's cried wolf and peddled bizarre conspiracy theories about fraud with no evidence.
A few moments later.
This breaking just a moment ago, New Jersey's Democratic governor, Mickey Sherrill, says that some 6,000 non-U.S. citizens were actually registered to vote.
Yeah, Jillian, it turns out that thousands of non-citizens were added to New Jersey's voter rolls.
Wow.
And some even voted.
What?
Wait! There's more! Department of Homeland Security, we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in just 4 states. Plus 400,000 individuals that are still registered to vote that are deceased.
Well, that is kind of weird. That is kind of weird because, you know, when you, what are you trying to do when you register to vote? What exactly, when you register to vote, what's the thing you want to do? What's the goal of registering to vote? What's the goal in the government trying to get you to register to vote? What are you planning on doing? Going fishing? Is that where you're going to do? You're going to go fishing? You know, I want to register to vote so I can go fishing, or register to vote so I can, buy alcohol. No, you register to vote so you could freaking vote. There you go. And that's what we discovered. Yeah, but there's no voter fraud. There is no voter fraud in America. There is no voter fraud in America. No voter fraud, no voter fraud. Ask ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, NPR, PBS, PBR, whatever the hell. Ask them all. There's no voter fraud at all. Except, I guess in New Jersey, there were 6,600 illegal alien voter registrations and 600 people voted illegally there. But it's only New Jersey. Okay, sure. Yes, it's only New Jersey. Man, we nipped this in the bud. We nipped this in the bud. Oh, my God. The Department of Homeland Security said that preliminary reviews of voter records in California, New Jersey, Nevada, and Pennsylvania, 190,832 non-citizens registered to vote in California. That's a fluke. I mean, that's got to be some sort of computer error or something, right? 35,152 non-citizens registered to vote in New Jersey. Again, it's a fluke. It's a little blip. Somebody inserted a hard drive in a disk upside down, or the whatever was broken. 15,903 non-citizens registered to vote in Nevada. It's Nevada if you live in Nevada, by the way. It's Nevada if you're not in Nevada. 14,546 non-citizens registered to vote in the state of Pennsylvania. Also, the DHS found over 400,000 deceased registrants and over 28,000 non-citizens across states that shared their election files with the department. So there you go. And by the way, 400,000 dead registrants. What do you bet 100% of them vote Democrat? Because that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. I mean, honestly, it is so utterly ridiculous. You know why I know there's voter fraud in America? Because I'm not stupid. And that the media is so bloody incurious about all of this is just freaking laughable, to be quite honest. Here is ABC's big report yesterday, and they went on to say, Donald Trump thinks that the Chinese Communist Party, is trying to cheat in the elections, even though they legit stole the voting data of all of you and me who voted, okay? All of us registered voters, 220 million. They had all the information on you and me. Who knows what kind of information they have on us? They might have your social security number, for God's sakes. But ABC, NBC, PBS, NPR, MS Now, CNN didn't even think that was important. So there's that.
Out of the election error revealed here in the Northeast, New Jersey's governor tonight revealing more than
That's David Manure.
6,000 non-citizens were mistakenly added to the voter rolls in that state. So how did this happen?
Man, I look at these other 250,000 non-citizens registered in California, New Jersey, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. That's a lot of mistakes, by the way. That's a whole lot of mistakes.
How many actually voted? Here's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill revealing that because of a computer error, about 6,600 non-citizens applied.
It's always a computer error. Generally, the computers don't make the errors. It's the people running the computers that make the errors. You always blame the computer. The computer computes, you see. It's the stuff that's put into the computer that generally is bleeped up.
Applying for a driver's license were also improperly registered to vote.
Oops.
In the case of this error, some individuals indicated that they weren't citizens and weren't eligible to vote. But the software registered them anyway.
The governor says about 400 of those non-citizens actually voted, but that there's no evidence their votes swayed any elections.
Yes, you got to qualify it, you know. I mean, it's just cheat. I mean, you've just been telling us there's no voter fraud at all. At all. You're crazy to even think there is any. And now you got to qualify it and say, it's just a little tiny bit and it didn't mean anything.
As officials became aware of the issue last week and that all 6,600
It's like matching bloodstains on a murder scene. It's like, just a little bit of blood there. Of course, the DNA did match, the murderer and all of that. It was just a little, though.
People are being scrubbed from the voter rolls.
We don't deflect, deny, or exploit problems for our own gain. We find them and we fix them.
Sure, and this was the first time you did that. This is kind of funny. It's kind of funny what happens when you give illegals driver's license or you give them Social Security numbers like Joe Biden did when they invited 20 million of them to come into the country, gave hundreds of thousands of them. In fact, I heard it was like 2 million of them got Social Security numbers. And then in places like Minnesota, they gave them driver's licenses.
It's done.
A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
Illegal aliens got driver's licenses. What could go wrong?
So we give driver's licenses to anyone here. You don't have to be a citizen.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
That's true, yeah.
Which is a photo ID. So if someone comes,
I thought it was impossible to get a photo ID.
and they register, they have the driver's license, but they have an incorrect social or no social or whatever.
Yeah.
So then they become incomplete.
Yeah.
But if they walk in to vote with their driver's license,
Yes.
does that make them all of a sudden now okay?
Yeah. What is
Mr. Linnell.
Madam Chair, so the designation on the roster for someone whose registration had been incomplete, if they present the election judge with that acceptable identification document, that would clear the challenge from the roster and they would be permitted to cast a ballot.
Okay, well, there's that kind of habit. And in states like California, they don't investigate voter fraud at all. They don't investigate it. Any allegations of voter fraud, they just accept the tally, usually a couple months late because they add up all the votes after the election, and somehow all sorts of votes just show up after the day of the election, and generally all Democrat votes. So it's just, other than that, there's no voter fraud. There is absolutely no voter fraud, except for in, I guess, well, now we know there's actual real voter fraud in the state of New Jersey because it's been proven.
4 big Democrat states, one of them being New Jersey.
Well,
New Jersey's Governor Mikey Sherrill came out right after the speech.
It's just a little blood stain on the white Bronco. Doesn't prove anything.
Not true. President Trump, once again, lying on election integrity. Oh, how much cruelty truth has to people who lied. Today, Mikey Sherrill had to say, yep, we found 6,600 non-citizens on New Jersey's voter rolls, and 400 of them voted in a recent election. I want to point that out.
Actually, 35,152 non-citizens registered to vote in New Jersey, according to the DHS.
400 foreigners voting in one state in one election.
Wow.
Would be the largest number known in the history of America.
But it only happened there. There's no way this happened in California, where 190,832 non-citizens are registered to vote.
Even with that revelation, Mikey Sherrill had to say it was all Trump's fault.
And where 400,000 dead people were discovered on the voter rolls.
It was all my predecessor's fault, who, by the way, was a Democrat as governor. It was a difficult moment, and watching the media that are so aligned with the Democratic Party tonight, They're in chaos. They do not know how to respond. And by the way, the revelations like this, I promise you, are going to keep coming on.
No, because there's no voter fraud. We've been told there's no voter fraud. There's no voter fraud, and Donald Trump colluded with Russia, and Hunter Biden's laptop is fake, and Joe Biden's brain is fine. What are you talking about, John Solomon? Here's Jake Tapper. He says this isn't a good look.
Cheryl, the governor of New Jersey, made this announcement today, a surprising announcement. Nearly 400 non-citizens voted in New Jersey elections as a result of what she calls a serious software error. Governor Cheryl posted this quote. It
was a software.
As the Trump administration tries to weaponize elections.
Gosh darn software.
For political gain, I am ensuring we protect our election. She goes on to say the difference is simple. When we find a problem, we don't hide it, deny it, or invent conspiracies. We investigate it, we fix it.
Invent conspiracies, okay.
And we tell the public. I have to say, though, for Democrats, I'm not saying that the Save America, the Save Act is going to pass.
Yeah.
But this is not good for Democrats' argument that there's no such thing as undocumented.
No, but it's just a little bit of blood and some brain matter.
This is not good for our country generally, I would say.
Even better.
Moral relativism there.
And it is not. This is a terrible problem to have. I think.
This is why the Save America Act is here, because it's meant to solve the problem, and it is a problem. And if you deny it's happening, we're going to find out that there's more of this. And clearly, we found out in the state of New Jersey that you can no longer say there's no voter fraud. You've been saying there's no voter fraud. Now you just can't suddenly say, oh, just a little tiny bit of voter fraud. There's just a little tiny bit of voter fraud. Honestly, unbelievable. We've got much more on this coming up. Abby Normal on CNN, she said, well, yeah, it's just a little bit, and Scott Jennings went after her. We got all sorts of, we got a special guest. Randy Fine's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Zohran Mamdani had to admit that he can't arrest Bibi Netanyahu. There was no friggin' way that was ever going to happen. So we're going to talk to him about that, among other things. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCVM.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to Newsmax.com/listen for details.
If you are an illegal or you're voting illegally, we will hunt you.
Yeah, you like in New Jersey there, they just discovered they did.
Down.
Yeah.
We will find you.
Yeah.
And we will prosecute you.
That's true.
President Trump is correct when he said that election security is national security.
It is,
In just 4 states,
what?
we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in California, and Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada.
Wow, that is crazy. 250,000 people, and you divide the number of states, you multiply it by like 10 or 11, 250,000. A couple million people probably who are illegal registered. If you extrapolate the number nationwide, and again, why do people register to vote? And why do states get people registered to vote? Is it an accident? Is it, you stumble across the southern border, it's like, hey, amigo, where do I go to get registered to vote? How do you get registered to vote coming across the southern border as Joe Biden flooded the country with 20 million people? Well, clearly somebody's probably telling you how to register to vote.
One thing that I love about numbers and I love about facts is they don't lie. The president was giving facts. What we have exposed, what the Biden administration covered up, what the intelligence community held from the American people, Congress, and the executive branch, and we're putting it out there.
Yeah, like the 220 million voter rolls, information about voters that were stolen by China. And Donald Trump, he did a speech last week. All he did was read unclassified data from the Biden administration and the previous administration. And the networks decided it was not worth covering. Here's Tom Fitton talking about that.
And so he went online or went and gave this speech. Big media censored him. CBS censored him. ABC,
Why?
NBC refused to cover the speech.
Why?
CNN, I think, turned away from it. They didn't cover the speech as well. I think only Fox and C-SPAN covered it fully. And he gave information out. And what was the media's response? All sorts of fake fact checks. Again, non sequitur complaints about what he said. China stole 220 million voter files.
Yeah, they did.
And the response from the media was, well, you didn't say they changed votes with it. What's going on in this world?
I know.
It's like Alice in Wonderland.
I know.
It's like a little kid saying, you catch a little kid stealing something, and they say, well, I didn't use it. I didn't use the money I stole from you.
No, exactly.
Are you kidding me? But that's the level of idiocy and dishonesty and disingenuousness we face from the left media.
Yeah, because the Democrat Party cannot win elections fairly because they have no platform, they have no common sense, and they're bat guano crazy. That's just the way it is. They can't win with their message, with everything. They can't win. And so they have to do all of this crap, and it is crap. It is, all right? So there you go. And we've just been proven by the state of New Jersey that voter fraud is real. And if you extrapolate it nationwide, there's a real good chance millions of people are registered illegally in the country. And in many states, it's not investigated. And if you get a driver's license, you can go in and vote. Blah, 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 blah. So this is why I'm glad that Donald Trump is in office in the 250th year of our birth. Have you, by the way, have you switched to Newsmax? Great shows. Greta Von Susteren, I know her, by the way. She works in the same building. We say hi to each other every single day. And then she's like, security, could you just keep him away from me? Carl Higbee, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of the big media and all of that, go to NewsmaxPlus.com for immediate access. I have a Newsmax Plus membership. That's how I'm able to listen to Rob Finnerty in my Bronco. Thank you very much. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. Try it for free. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com. download the free app, make the switch to Newsmax Plus. By the way, Newsmax is where I'm doing my show. I'm in the Newsmax building in downtown Washington, D.C. Thank you very much. Here's Abby Normal over on CNN. It's Abby Phillips is her name. And after saying forever there's no voter fraud, no voter fraud, no voter fraud, suddenly we find out there's real voter fraud, and hundreds of thousands of illegals are registered in just 4 states, and a whole bunch of them voted in New Jersey.
Because they're trying to defraud the system. They might have cast a ballot because they just weren't aware that they were incorrectly put on the voter roll.
I didn't know that I illegally voted.
You weren't aware that they weren't a citizen of the United States?
No,
no idea how I got in that voting booth and then the little mark on it and all that stuff. I don't even know. I just walked in the wrong building.
In this instance, they weren't citizens. They were still
Is this accurately described as fraud when none of these people tried to register to vote?
Yes, they cast ballots. 400 of them cast ballots.
Yeah.
They had to
Abby Normal.
actively go do that. I assume no one voted in their name. Maybe they did, I don't know. But they actively cast a ballot. Did they not?
What I want to...
An illegal...
You just said last week there was no voter fraud there, Abby Normal. And now there's voter fraud. Here she is talking about tolerance for a number of illegal votes.
What's your definition of widespread, by the way? Is it 1%? Is it 2%?
I don't know. More than 100? I think it's a big problem. What's yours?
What's your tolerance for this?
Abby Normal, you said there was no voter fraud.
Hold on. This is not about tolerance. This is about, is it widespread or is it something that is relatively rare,
You're
Scott?
pounding him over the word widespread.
Wow.
I just would ask you,
Scott,
what is your tolerance for any...
That doesn't sound very journalistically to just, kind of just say, well, I mean, it happened, but it's not widespread.
Is it widespread?
Absolutely. Over 6,000 people.
What is your bar for widespread?
And she said, my bar is I want no tolerance. Okay. I have zero tolerance.
So what is your tolerance for American citizens?
By the way, this isn't the only place this is...
What is your tolerance for truth and journalism there, Abby Normal?
What's your tolerance for American citizens whose valid voting
she's going to switch. She's going to distract here.
Registrations are invalidated by incorrect databases. What's your tolerance for that?
I don't have tolerance for any mistakes in the electoral system, including putting non-citizens on the roll.
What's your tolerance for peanut allergies?
So then why are we not keeping the same energy for that as we are for this?
I do have energy. As you know, I've come out here and long argued.
Because you guys say there's no voter fraud when it's obvious. When you let so many people come across the southern border and then loaded them up with all sorts of government largesse and social security numbers and driver's licenses. There's a reason for it, Abby Normal. And if you were a journalist, you'd investigate it, but you're not. Because all you are is a party apparatchik. You might as well work for Pravda, but they went out of business when the Berlin Wall collapsed. There you go. All right. This and so much more, including Zoran Mondami admitting he can't arrest Bibi Netanyahu. Not a big surprise. We'll talk to Representative Randy Fine from Florida coming up next about that. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
When let us sit aside, causes quite an attack, cyclist foray. When raspberries you eat keeps you on the throne seat, cyclist foray. Stomach churns and you'll feel some burns as the parasite starts to infect you. To the drugstore you go, pick up some Pepto that you know won't protect you. or offend you. Taco that you consumed, it was safe, you assumed cyclosporine. The feeling you get that you'd like to forget you're in pain. When it's clear you are one suffering signore. Excuse me, can't you see no more salads for me, cyclosporine? Cyclosporine. When lettuce causes quite an attack, cyclosporine. When raspberries you eat keeps you on the throne seat, cyclosporine. Stomach churns and you'll feel some burns as the parasite starts to infect you. To the drugstore you go, pick up some Pepto that you know won't protect you or affect you. Taco that you consumed, it was safe, you assumed cyclosporine. The feeling you get that you'd like to forget you're in pain. When it's clear you are one suffering signore. Excuse me, can't you see no more salads for me, cyclosporine? Cyclosporine.
Hey guys, it's Carson for GhostBed. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. I trust Relief Factor. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed. And of course, we'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Mark, for instance, was in tears from his daily hand joint discomfort. But after a week on Relief Factor, he felt 50% better. Now he barely even notices any pain. I can attest to this. It used to hurt getting up and out of chairs or even off the bench press at the gym. Not so much anymore. People like Mark make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us a Relief Factor story and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks now for just $17.76. Simply go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. They'll do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story too. relieffactor.com or 800-4RELIEF.
As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC.
Sure.
My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does. And I call on them to join the ICC.
Yeah, they're going to do that. The federal government's going to join the ICC and arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. You know, Sheriff Barney Fife. Why don't you get back to fixing potholes in those free grocery stores that are going to take 3 years to build. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline is Representative from Florida, the great Randy Fine. How are you today, sir? And welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me.
Boy, what a faceplant that was, huh? He's acted all big and everything. The mayor of New York, and he's not going to talk about Vladimir Putin. He's not going to talk about anybody else, but he wants to arrest Bibi Netanyahu when he comes to town. Why would that be, Randy Fine? Is he maybe, I don't know, anti-Semitic or something?
Well, look, legitimized Jew hatred in New York City. I mean, he is.
Okay.
Attempted in his speech to criticize Bibi Netanyahu for killing Hamas terrorists.
Yes.
For killing killing the people who engaged in October 7th.
Yes.
And by the way, I wish he did try to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. You know why? Because then he'd get arrested, and that's what we need to happen to get this lunatic out of being mayor of New York City.
Yeah, it's. I really would have loved to have seen it. I don't think that the police were going to do this. You'd suppose the police would go, "Okay, Mr. Mayor, let's go over and start an international incident and arrest Bibi Netanyahu." I mean, honestly, how freaking ludicrous! It's like a governing toddler, for God's sake.
Yeah, but remember, he is the initial wave of this risk of mainstream Muslim political leaders who wish to fundamentally change how this country works, to blow up the incredible Judeo-Christian values that have made this country great. He hates America. We saw that in the speech that he gave from George Washington's desk on July 4th. The guy just got here from Uganda. He's barely been a citizen. He didn't come here because he loves America. He came here to destroy America. And all of these things, all of these speeches, they are all built about destroying the fundamental fabric of our society, and we have to stand up and say, no, go back to Uganda.
Oh, hell yes. And now I've been talking and hearing about the possibility of denaturalizing and deporting him, and I don't even give a damn. I mean, I don't even care what sort of, if people want to riot in the streets or whatever. When he decided to become a citizen of this country, there were some things that he swore on, and there were some things he obviously must have lied about to get his application for citizenship approved, and I think he ought to be held to account to that, because clearly he is not down with supporting the Constitution and the nation as founded. What do you suppose the possibility of that is, and do you have a way of maybe starting that?
Well, we don't. That is a function of the executive branch.
Okay.
I think they should. It is clear, it is unambiguous that he lied in his paperwork to become a naturalized citizen. Given that, he can be denaturalized. And he should be. He should lose his citizenship, and he should be deported. We should tell people, if you want to come to America, if you want to become a citizen, you must love this country, you must share its values, and you must want to add value from day one.
Now, you
don't get to go and come into my house and criticize the carpet and the wallpaper and the furniture. You don't get to say the house is bad. If you don't like the house, don't come visit. And that's why he's got to go home.
Yeah, 100%. And also, Ilhan Omar should be deported the hell out of the country. I mean, honestly, I am just sick and tired of the United States of America being bee-slapped by the third world. They've taken it to a new low with hundreds of thousands of people coming here, millions of people coming here, stealing from us, pledging allegiance to the meth lab trailer park of America, of the world, which is Somalia, by the way. And I think we're just sick and damn tired of it, and we've got to start sending these people home. We've got to get back to the original founding. Where we are is we're sons of immigrants, for God's sake.
But we're sons of immigrants who came to America because they loved what this country stood for, not because they wanted to destroy it, and not because they wanted to see how much free stuff they could get from it. We need to deport every single illegal immigrant, and when we're done with that, we need to start denaturalizing and deporting people who lied to get citizenship, like Ilhan Omar and like Zoran Mamdani.
100%. What do you think about New Jersey? There's no voter fraud, by the way. But it turns out there's 250,000 illegals registered to vote in 4 states. Why do people register to vote?
Because they want to cheat. And look, Democrats can't win elections legitimately. That we've learned.
Yes.
So they have to have fraud in these elections to win. They have to import new voters because actual Americans, not the paperwork Americans they've created or the illegal immigrants, they don't share American values. And that's why this election is so important. It's why passing Save America is so important. It's why electing Republicans is so important.
Did you see what happened in Arizona? The pro-Israel Greg Staunton beat this Kai Newkirk, who is one of these new DSA candidates. I mean, handily, like 31%, or by 30%. And clearly outside of New York and some of these other elite liberal bastions, they're going to be facing strong headwinds. What do you think about that and the prospect of this DSA movement taking over the Democrat Party in the country?
Well, I was glad he won, but they are winning in a lot of places. And when Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib seem reasonable compared to some of these lunatics they are putting up, having a guy from New Jersey be in Congress who volunteered for Hamas and Al-Qaeda and thinking that guy can have access to classified information, we have fundamental problems. The enemy is the barbarians are no longer at the gates. They're going to serve in Congress. And they may not be a majority, but in a tightly split House of Representatives, they will have an outside voice. And they are here to destroy America. We're no longer arguing about marginal tax rates. We're arguing about whether America should exist or whether it should be destroyed. And that needs to scare every American.
Well, how do we let these people get sworn in? How do we let these people get sworn in when they are not? They do not. They want to turn over the country. They want to get rid of the Senate. All of these things. You swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. How in the hell are these people going to be seated in Congress, sir?
Well, if they win, that's why we've got to defeat them in November. People need to understand that the future of America is literally on the line. One of these people in California who's running is an elected official right now who will not say the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America. Why do you even want to be in America, let alone in Congress, if you won't pledge allegiance to this country? It's because you're an enemy of this country and you seek its destruction. We've got to beat these people.
We have to beat these people. We've got a lot of great things happening with Mark Wade Mullen, with uncovering numbers of illegals on voter registration, thousands of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dead people. Harmeet Dillon doing this mail-in voting victory in a court the other day, and I think it's going to get a lot harder for Democrats to win. But you're right, Randy Fine. We've got to get. This is a war. We're in a war. This isn't just an election. This is a war. Would you agree?
Yes, and look, when you see people like Zohran Mamdani saying, I won't enforce federal immigration law, that's a soft secession.
Yes, sir.
You don't get to defy the federal government. If you don't like our laws, you elect people to change them. Again, Zohran Mamdani saying we're going to meet with Iran, we're going to arrest Bibi Netanyahu, and we're seceding from the and creating our own country. They don't believe in our system of government. They don't believe in democracy. Zohran Mamdani wants to create the same sort of Taliban state in America that he so admires over there. We can't allow this to happen. It's why our people need to line up to fight, because we are in a war for the future of this country.
100%. Representative Fine, I appreciate you. I know you've got to run because you've got a lot of appearances today. But thanks for finding the time to be on the Rob Carson Show, my friend, and I hope to talk again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You bet. By the way, on X at Rep Fine. On X at Rep Fine. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
No borders, no prisons, no police. I don't quite understand. But to say that supporting an organization that exacts and imposes violence on people because of their faith, to say that we don't want to have borders for our country and allow any and every
Harold Ford Jr. talking about the Democrat Socialists of America.
Everyone to come in, even the worst of the worst. To say that you want no law enforcement and no place to put those who commit crimes. I don't know how that aligns or has ever aligned with the Democratic Party. We're in a dead heat with Republicans. And if you listen to those
which means Republicans are ahead.
Independents and others and some Republicans, it's because they are afraid of this message. They are afraid of the socialist communist wing of the party. There's no prisons, no borders, no police. Supporting Hamas is not an answer. And Democrats, if we find independents and even some Democrats leaving us in the fall, come October, November, or when early voting starts in these key states, we will have only ourselves to blame if we continue to embrace a group of people whose ideas are not only anti-Democrat party, but anti-American.
Yeah, well, the Democrat Party is anti-American. Duh. And this is the thing. They raised these are their progeny. These are the people who ushered in the nonsense, all the woke nonsense, all the America is a slave nation, America sucks, our forefathers were evil, we're colonizers, all this crap, and then of course indoctrinating these spoiled brats in universities. And guess what? Your children are killing you. Congratulations, Democrat. Here's Alyssa Slotkin trying to cozy up to those who would actually destroy her.
There's a bunch of signals coming out of Michigan and other places really, really clearly. First, people are looking for a new generation of leadership. Period. They want new faces.
Yeah, I'm not ready to cede that. I'm a Gen Xer. We haven't even had a president yet, so screw that. How about these punks who are in their 20s who work at Starbucks? Get a little life experience, maybe a frickin' job before they decide they can take over.
New ideas, new vision, new visuals.
Yeah, that's going on right now. Donald Trump actually is trying all sorts of new stuff, like bringing $17 trillion of investment back into America. Peace in the Middle East, closing the southern border, no Social Security tax on Social Security earnings, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, deregulating the federal government. How about that? That's pretty new.
Number two, they're looking for big and bold ideas that actually shake up the system in a
real really? Like getting rid of the Senate and getting rid of the Electoral College? Really like that?
Way. And I think if you look at some of the elections we've seen in places like New York City, I think that is manifesting in who's winning some of these elections.
Yeah, in places like New York City. Yesterday in Arizona, Greg Stanton beat Kai Newkirk. Greg Stanton is a pro-Israel candidate. Kai Newkirk is a Democrat socialist. He lost 68 to 31%. So there's a whole lot of people in this country who aren't going to accept this nonsense, by the way, aren't going to accept this nonsense. And we are on a battleground footing with regard to these Democrat socialists. We're not going to allow it to happen. Here's Mark Warner. He's a weasel, man. I got to know him. I did an event, a casino night like 16, 18 years ago, and he has just become a filthy, rotten. He reminds me of like Al Pacino in a bad movie. He sounds like Al Pacino in a bad movie. But here he is being challenged on the Democrat Socialists of America, which, by the way, are anti-Semitic socialists. The same as the Nazi Party in Germany. There's no doubt about it. Shades of the same thing, the same elements of that movement are alive with this group of young Turks.
You still haven't just addressed defunding police, defunding ICE, socialism, capitalism not being the type of system that the economy.
Come on, Mark, have the balls to say it's wrong.
Based on, I know Big Tent, I hear all the happy talk and everything like that, but and to say, well, Graham Plattner, that we found out later that he wasn't vetted. Well, Joe, along there were plenty.
Oh, he was vetted. They just said everything was okay. Then they realized he was going to lose.
Plenty of things that would have got if Democrats didn't want to.
Who doesn't have a Nazi tattoo? What the hell?
Win so badly and regain power. There were plenty of things that a normal person would have said. There's a problem here.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe, as you know, my background, first my family graduated from college, failed a couple times in business.
Okay, who even cares? Who even cares?
Then did well. I believe in the free enterprise system, but it's only going to work if everybody gets a fair shot.
Oh, my God. That's another talking point forever. Everybody does have a free shot. That's why we're the number one GDP in the world, have been for at least a century. Number one economy, number one for inventions, number one for innovation. Cell phone, rockets to the moon, blue jeans, rock and roll, professional football, the cotton gin, light bulb. I can go on and on and on and on and on. We are a successful experiment, okay? So knock it off. We came, we saw, we kicked butt, and we're still kicking butt very much. And right now, the Democrat Party is being overtaken by a bunch of anti-Semitic socialists. And when that happens, it doesn't end well for the party. It doesn't end well for the country, and we're not going to allow it to win. I think that sounds like a good idea, right? Yeah. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hi, kids. Let me delete a couple things here before I talk to you. Here we go. Hi. Hello, Leslie, Lady Hawk. How are you? I saw you guys talking about my show a little while ago about why you watch Newsmax. Many of you choose to watch Newsmax because I'm on it, and I appreciate you very much. But there's so much goodness on Newsmax. I got some great audio from Rob Finnerty last night on this insane woman who is the director of all the Smithsonians, and how she's doing the same sort of crap, incorporating it in the museum exhibits as is being taught by Marxists on college campuses. The 1619 Project, all that crap. That's the Smithsonian Museum. They've allowed this crap to happen. It's got to stop. Dookie Bear, hey, Robbo, when is Newsmax going to give you an hour? Who the hell knows? I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just very glad to do what I do. And what I do is growing and growing and growing. Thank you very much. It is. It's growing dramatically by leaps and bounds. The live stream, the radio show, all are growing by leaps and bounds. And it's going to continue to go because we're the only show in the country doing it. They're the only show in the country incorporating comedy with other things, by the way. So there you go. Let me see. Wild Bill West, what's going on? What's going on, Wild Bill West and Shuttered and Round the Pony? I think you're Judy in Canada. How you doing there? How you doing up there? Giving us all that gosh darned secondhand smoke. What the hell? Hold on, I got to see if I got to get something here. Jim Gossett did me a couple good songs last night. Josh Shapiro, Netanyahu, Israeli ambassador. Okay, hold on. What did he send me last night? All right, I got to talk.
The U.S. government and the Israeli government, they're in the midst of creating the Fourth Reich. And it is absolutely accurate to compare these people to Mussolini, to Adolf Hitler. We're governed.
No, not at all. You're absolutely wrong.
By dead-eyed psychopaths and sociopaths and bloodthirsty imperialists. Wow. The U.S. government and the Israeli government, they are the terrorists. They are the terrorists. They are doing terrorism. If Iran's off the table as a regional power, that means Hezbollah can't be funded, Hamas can't be funded, the Houthis can't be funded, like the Shia Crescent falls, and then you have nothing but regional...
Pro-Israeli research group Canary Mission, I've been getting some of their stuff off of Twitter, said Monday that a video shows several Democrat Socialists of America aligned politicians joined an online rally where a speaker lamented that neutralizing Iran would strip Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis of their funding. This is that video, and many people, including Ro Khanna, Cori Bush, Abdul al-Sayed, all joined the conversation.
Domination for Israel. There's a reason why I call Israel and the U.S. the axis of Epstein, okay? There's a reason why I've said repeatedly that...
Yeah, because you're an idiot. Because you're an idiot applying non sequiturs to a completely preposterous idea.
They're in the midst of creating the Fourth Reich. Because that's...
Oh, my God. Let's see. The Reich was socialist and anti-Semitic.
Sincerely is what they're doing. These are...
Oh, I want to spank these children. I want to spank them.
Genuinely repulsive, disgusting, wretched, depraved human beings.
He's looking in the mirror.
And it is absolutely accurate to compare these people to the worst criminals in history.
No, it's not at all. And just because you say it is doesn't mean it is. You're a toddler stomping your feet. I want a candy bar. You're not going to get a candy bar. You're going to get smacked upside the head, literally and figuratively. Yeah, we got to kick their butts in November. We're on a war footing. We really are. We are. We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it weren't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on the principle of sound, stable money. Of course, that's been completely screwed up by politicians who've printed money left and right, and consequently, your dollar's not worth as much. Gold is worth a lot. It's about $4,200 today. Probably a good time to buy it. It was way high earlier this year, and it came up from $1,200 10 years ago to $4,200 today. If you're going to maybe consider a stronger foundation for your finances, maybe your retirement, might want to get in touch with Birch Gold, the company that I chose. They have my money, and they'll give you a free information kit, by the way, no obligation at all. All you have to do is text my name. I know, my name is worth something. It's crazy. My dad was wrong. Text Rob to 989898. Learn how gold fits into your portfolio by texting my name, Rob, to the number 989898. Free, no obligation info kit, A+ rating from the BBB, countless 5-star reviews. Let Birch Gold build your foundation with gold. Text my name, Rob, to the number 9898. That's Rob to 989898. That's 3 of those. 989898. Next hour, this bat guano crazy cat lady who's in charge of all the Smithsonians was grilled on Capitol Hill yesterday, and we've discovered that our most sacred institutions have been polluted by the same nonsense that liberal academia has been polluted with. 1619 Project, all of that Marxist crap is in our Smithsonian institutions. This woman needs to go. Hasta la vista. Rob Finnerty, Newsmax, had a brilliant commentary and summation of that. We'll share it. Second hour of the Rob Carson Show right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Just moments ago, President Trump issued a new warning to Iran. He posted on Truth Social saying, from this point forward, anytime the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether it be by missile, rocket, drone, or any other device or weapon, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant, including those located next to
quid pro quo, Clarice, quid pro quo,
or in the capital city of Tehran. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
There you go. So that's what's happening. Iran bleeps around. They're going to find out. Donald Trump is laying down the law. 11 days into this, by the way, just bombing the snot out of Iran. I've got some stuff I want to get to. What is it? Pickaxe Mountain. They ought to call it Kickass Mountain. We're going after Pickaxe Mountain. Now, here's the deal. We bombed the Iran nuclear sites back in the earlier in the year with the B-2s and whatnot. And apparently they took some of their centrifuges and moved them to Pickaxe Mountain. And all of the nuclear dust is still in the ground buried over there. And now Donald Trump has heard, oh, really? You're going to move those centrifuges? Well, here's the deal. We're going to bomb the snot out of you now.
How about these people? They're in this because of nuclear weapons, and they're trying to possibly reconstitute a site. We'll hit that site. Any site where they're even thinking about nuclear, we'll be hitting it very, very powerfully.
Do you believe that Iran has moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain?
It doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is. And we'll be hitting that area pretty soon.
Yeah.
And it's not a thing they can do.
Yeah, and we're gonna call it Kick-Ass Mountain. That's what I want to call it. Blaine Holt was on Newsmax last night. I know. Blaine Holt, he's awesome. He's a brigadier general. He's got this great podcast that he does. Dangerous Intellectuals is what it is. Here is what he says is going to happen. This is what also has to happen in Iran.
Yeah. So there's a difference here.
Oh, and by the way, it's what I've been saying, I don't know, for about 6 months.
What we'll do is we will be a support function to an Iranian revolution.
Boom.
They have to take back their country. Look, twice before we have provided 130,000 U.S. forces into decades-long wars that led to nowhere.
Not going to do it.
What we're not going to do is what Secretary Hegseth is talking about, which is clandestine services coming.
Do you ever think that maybe the DSA not supporting Israel and the Democrats who are voted against supporting Israel maybe don't want Israel to go in and do the butt kicking on the ground in Iran to finish the job? You ever think about that? I'm thinking that.
In and executing a color revolution like the kind we saw in Maidan. That also goes nowhere fast. That's something that we manufacture. This is completely organic. And the Iranian people will never have a better opportunity in their lives, indeed, to go grab their country back for themselves right now. Now, they can't do it by themselves because the IRGC has combat capability. But what we will do is we will jacket them with air power. They want to bomb somewhere, they've got it. They need resupply, they'll get it. We're just not going to bring in divisions of force.
And if there needs to be any sort of special forces, then it's going to have to be done by Israel. There you go. They're in the hood. They're right there in the hood. They got to do something about it. Isn't it amazing the Democrat Party has not done anything and said anything positive about our military in this action at all? Nothing. The only thing they do is occasionally, like for instance, three military members just were killed by a missile attack and then one by a drone, and they only use that. They won't even mention the names. They only use it as a way of, we should have never gotten this. They've said nothing about how great our military has been through this, completely neutering the military-industrial complex in Iran. Not a damn thing. Not a thing. The Democrat Party. The military, you guys have got to know this Democrat Party is not on your side at all whatsoever. And it's clearly the case when it comes to Pete Hegseth yesterday on Capitol Hill. They want to fund $250 billion to Ukraine. Thus far, this military operation, $35 billion. A drop in the bucket compared to Ukraine, but all they can do is complain about it. And then also, have you noticed no Democrats have said, wow, wouldn't it be great if the people of Iran were free? Remember all of the dancing and celebrating when the Ayatollah was killed? Remember that? Democrats wouldn't even carry it on the networks. Millions of people around the world dancing, celebrating the possibility of freedom for the people of Iran after 47 years. It should tell you all you need to know. Jesse Waters last night, he has some really good, one of the, and I don't like to promote the competition and all, but the guy does a really good job, very concise, very pithy, and really good commentary on what is happening and how we're going to have to work with Israel to end this Iran nonsense.
The option on the president's desk right now is an all-out war. That would include Kickass. Sources say Israel would come in to help deliver the final blow. The Israelis are already on high alert and preparing to go full scale.
Go!
F-16s and F-35s are moving into theater. And
this is why the Democrats don't want to help out Israel anymore.
Refueling planes are being pre-positioned. The Iranians say they still want to negotiate, but talks are off.
Yeah, a little too late there, Junior.
The United States says they're not coming back into the table until the Iranians show they're serious.
Iran's been given every opportunity to negotiate, to show that they're reasonable on the Strait of Hormuz. But if they're going to shoot at commercial shipping, then we're going to hit them, as the president said, 10 times harder.
Yeah.
Which every night we're degrading them further and further.
Yeah.
And the president has all the options necessary. If they want to talk, they can talk. Otherwise, they can deal with the War Department.
Yeah, talk to the hand. Here you go. Here is Jesse Waters talking about. Listen to this. Do you know who's been in the White House the last couple of days? The leader of Iraq. What? Really? Yeah. Yeah, and Lebanon as well. Listen to this.
Because Gulf countries are skipping the strait. Iraq just visited the White House, and they signed off on Chevron finishing a pipeline from Baghdad to Syria into the Mediterranean.
What's that going to do?
Iran won't be able to clip any tankers because the tankers will be off the coast of...
Yeah, they're not going through the Straits of Hormuz.
Greece. Chevron's also going to drill, baby, drill in southern Iraq. And ConocoPhillips just took a huge stake in Iraqi oil. Remember Trump said we should...
That's going to drive down the cost of oil worldwide.
Taking the oil? Well, there you go. Starlink is going to start operating.
This is the death of the grip of Iran's Islamist terrorist cabal.
Iraq. Even J.P. Morgan is going to open a Baghdad branch.
What?
Those deals are worth $60 billion. So we've pulled Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon away from the mullahs.
Wow.
And we're selling the Arabs $2 trillion in AI, plus weapons. Russia and China aren't even in the sandbox.
Wow, this is crazy. It's a millennial peace. It's an amazing moment. It's a Berlin Wall moment for the Middle East, and the Democrat Party doesn't want to play along because they're on the wrong side of history and the wrong side of everything. Brigitte Gabriel, frequently a guest on this radio program, here she is telling how we need to finish the job. And by the way, and I felt that Donald Trump was a little too patient with the length of the ceasefire, by the way.
1,500 missiles left, which they have now, and about 150 to 175 launchers. And now they're going through them. That's, so we have destroyed 75% of their military capability.
They're shooting their wad.
And we just needed to finish the job. The unfortunate thing that we did is
that's a reference to the long guns in the Civil War, by the way, Hunter.
Went into a ceasefire too early. And you know what? This is the same thing that happened to Israel with Gaza, with Hamas, and this is exactly what we did with Iran. We should not have gone with the ceasefire, but the Arabic states were putting pressure on President Trump, saying, look, they're going to attack us. Let's give them peace a chance. Let's hit the pause button. Let's have a ceasefire. And that's what you end up with. I believe right now we're ramping up the operation, and we're going to continue fighting them. President Trump now knows that negotiations is a wasted time with the Iranians, and he will finish the job.
Oh, I hope so. Pete Hegseth was on Capitol Hill yesterday. He's doing a great job as the Secretary of War. He really is. He's doing a kick-butt job as Secretary of War. The military is proud right now. The people in the military are very proud of what they're doing. People going into the military, recruitment is at an all-time high. We have had an amazing success rate in Iran with very few casualties. TVs. We've gone in, we've kicked ass, we've taken names. Most of those names, Mohammed. Here is Pete Hegseth.
Iran is at the weakest point militarily it has ever been in the past decade. Certainly, maybe in 47 years, as they've gathered effectively a terror army. So
you wouldn't hear that from Democrats, though.
I acknowledge they still have capabilities, no doubt. But the amount of damage that we've done to them over the course of these series of operations has put them in the worst place they've ever been. The Biden administration ignored hypersonics. They just decided to pretend like that technology didn't exist.
Yeah, they didn't do anything except for, let men pretending to be women be the leaders in the military. And then Lloyd Austin went to the hospital and didn't tell anybody about it.
We shouldn't invest in it. There are things. I don't know what Lloyd Austin did for 4 years.
Neither
I really
do I.
don't.
No.
The amount of neglect, the amount of stale thinking and bureaucracy, it was staggering when we took.
That's Dick Durbin trying to talk over the Secretary of War because, he's Dick Durbin. Here is Pete Hegseth. We're just got to remind you, why were the Democrats so gung-ho on sending $250 billion to Ukraine, where Hunter Biden was the on the board of directors for an oil company, and and then, of course, there was also John Solomon reported that they were going to funnel $100 million back to Joe Biden's presidency for candidacy for president using our tax money sent to Ukraine, and we've never gotten an itemized list of all of the things that the money was spent on in Ukraine, but a whole lot of people in the upper echelons of power, the oligarchs over there, ended up with really, really cool boats and yachts.
I appreciate as much as anybody winning a war. But I sit in front of a committee that wants to talk about winning a war that's been going on for 4 years and talks about strategic defeat of a conflict that's been going on for 4 months to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear bomb. I would hope for some perspective in this town of the historic nature of what President Trump is undertaking.
Yeah,
do you want radical Islamists to have a nuclear bomb?
I don't want to hear your
down
speech
the world?
because I have limited time.
I don't understand.
If you can't answer my question, then I will move on to my.
They would rather have the Ayatollah, they would rather have terrorism, the terrorist proxies, all of this, than Donald Trump actually finishing the job, ending 47 years of this nonsense, and have it on Donald Trump's watch. That's what's so stinking lousy about the Democrat Party on this, and they've never said a good thing about our military. But I'm here to say you guys have done a great, great job. Let's just finish it now. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. 99.9 FM in Harford County.
Gonna rejoin.
If I don't like it, if they don't behave, we'll go right back to dropping bombs right smack in the middle of their head.
Come on! Do it! Finish the job. The great Stephen Miller.
He's made it clear that he will consider and pursue any and every option necessary to achieve America's objective of ending the Iranian nuclear threat once and for all. How for 47 years, this regime operated with bloody impunity. They murdered Americans, they tortured dissidents, they engaged in proxy terrorism across the region, across the globe, and of course they're responsible for the roadside bombs that left so many of our bravest mortally wounded and terribly disfigured. Everyone wanted to push this problem aside, and of course Obama, worst of all, funded, empowered, enabled, and led to the rise of the Iranian regime as a hegemony.
Yeah, and the Democrat Party wants to cut off the funding and end the conflict before we can finish it and let Islam, radical Islam, rise again over there on the cusp of what is a Berlin Wall moment, what is a millennial peace for the Middle East, something I haven't seen in my life. I mean, a lot of things have changed in my life. I remember back in the 1970s, I was a little kid. My dad worked at a pipeline company, and wherever you live, no matter what city you live in, there's a hub for pipeline where they fill tanks with fuel that trucks go to and then take it to your convenience store, your gas station, and deliver the fuel. And it's a hub. It's a National Cooperative Refinery Association where he worked. And in the 1970s, OPEC had control of everything, and there were long lines, and there was a gas shortage, according to Jimmy Carter, a gas shortage. My dad told me at that time, he said, Rob, the tanks are full where we are. We're just told we can't fill the trucks. They won't let us do it. Created out of whole cloth. And we never had a gas shortage at all. It was created out of whole cloth. A shortage completely out of whole cloth. And that's when OPEC had our nuts in a vice. They don't anymore. We are energy independent over here, and we are on the cusp of a millennial peace we've never imagined before. And the Democrat Party, all they can do is shriek and caterwaul. It's really, really ridiculous. Here is a Scott Bessent. You never thought that Scott Bessent would be a general in the army against Iran.
We have found the money man for the Ayatollah, and we hope to soon be able to print his $100 million dollar plus properties and show the addresses. Their currency has collapsed. It is at an all-time low versus the dollar. It's in free fall, and we think the inflation rate is upwards of 180%.
That's kind of cool, actually, and that's really cool. I got to tell you, very, very, very cool. I'm very, 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 very impressed with Scott Bessent. He said something that I thought was terrific. I want to share this apropos of anything but Iran at this point. We're talking about Iran, but I want you to think about also how we have really turned how the left in this country had destroyed our economy on its head. Barack Obama said, there's no magic way. We can't bring manufacturing back to America. And then George Bush said there are jobs Americans won't do. He was so full of crap. He was so full of crap. There are so many jobs. There's no job Americans won't do. I have done those jobs. I have picked crops. I have harvested that. I have shoveled every kind of animal feces you could possibly imagine. I've done jobs that nobody would want to do. When I was growing up, you know what the number one job was where I grew up in Neola, Iowa? If you could land it, working at the slaughterhouse. You got a union job at the slaughterhouse, you were doing fine. You were doing fine, and that's the worst thing you could possibly imagine. What a shame to say such a stupid thing. But that said, this president not only is turning the Middle East upside down, he's turning the American economy upside down in a positive fashion. And for that, we need the most popular show element on this radio program.
We love to win. Winning, winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning.
Lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning.
Lots of winning. It's oh so good.
That is our winning jingle, and here's Scott Bessent to talk about what we have done to the economy and returning Made to America back to America.
The truth is that for too long, America had been asleep.
Yes.
We mistook comfort for strength. We substituted efficiency for resilience and consumption as a measure of prosperity.
Yes.
We told ourselves that so long as goods were cheaper overseas, it did not matter whether factories went dark in Michigan, Ohio, or Pennsylvania.
Yes.
We assumed that supply chains would always function smoothly and adversaries would always behave responsibly, and the invisible hand would correct vulnerabilities that too few in public life had the courage to confront. And while we reassured ourselves with those assumptions, risk accumulated all around us. Somewhere along the way, we lost sight of a foundational principle that previous generations understood instinctively. Economic security is national security.
Yes.
For a nation that cannot manufacture, mine, ship, or refine its needs gradually, cedes its strength and sovereignty to others. That is a dangerous dependency for any country. It is an unacceptable one for the United States of America.
And there is pride in production, building things, and Americans have always felt that. That's how we've gotten where we are, the strongest economy in the history of mankind. Don't let anybody try to convince you otherwise. And, of course, our framers built a solid foundation. Hamilton helped us produce a sound, stable money, a principle embodied by the gold standard. Of course, completely, I'll say, bastardized 1971. And then they started printing money left and right. Gold is still valuable. Do you have gold in your portfolio? Gold is unshakable, thank you very much. If you don't have it in your portfolio, you need to go to Birch Gold, the company that I've invested my money in. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Convert an IRA or existing 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn how it fits into your portfolio. Put it in there and then let it ride. That's what I am doing with Birch Gold. A-plus rating from the BBB and countless 5-star reviews. Let Birch Gold help you build your foundation with gold. Text my name, Rob, to the number 989898. Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. Coming up, Adam Guillette, President, Accuracy in Media. It's going to be awesome. He always is. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. Jim ran out of Relief Factor twice. Both times his ache, stiffness, and pain came back. Once he restarted again, he says he felt better again. You know something's working when you run out of it. I started taking Relief Factor 6 months ago. I ride 30 miles on a Saturday morning on my mountain bike and lift weights every other day, and I feel great. People like Jim make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor help you tackle your daily aches and pains. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. They will do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story with us too. 800-4RELIEF or relieffactor.com.
Gotta ride the block or move. We got a right to shut it down. Iran's leader is a clown. They're in clear violation. It is safe to assume the bombing will resume. All Iran will see is misery. We will take out power plants. Coral Island we will seize. You'll see it on the news. We got a right to block or
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
County.
Let me be clear. Donald Trump has zero credibility on the issue of election integrity. He's cried wolf and peddled bizarre conspiracy theories about fraud with no evidence.
A few moments later.
This breaking just a moment ago, New Jersey's Democratic governor, Mickey Sherrill, says that some 6,000 non-U.S. citizens were actually registered to vote.
Yeah, Jillian, it turns out that thousands of non-citizens were added to New Jersey's voter rolls, and some even voted.
But wait! There's more! The Department of Homeland Security, we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in just 4 states. Plus 400,000 individuals that are still registered to vote that are deceased.
That is kind of interesting. That is kind of interesting. Joining us to talk about this and oh so much more, Adam Guillette, President, Accuracy in Media. Adam Guillette, real quick question. When you register to vote, what are you planning on doing? Just, I want to know. Is it going fishing? What is it? I'm not sure.
It's certainly not owning a firearm. One would presume you're going to vote.
Oh, shut up. No way. Hold on. Everybody, break this right now. Just break it. Call everyone. Tell everyone. The reason why you register to vote is because you're going to vote. It's so stupid. They think we're so stupid. 250,000 people, illegals, registered to vote in just 4 states. And they've been saying for a while now, there's no voter fraud. Am I right? Am I wrong in this? Your Accuracy in Media. Haven't they been saying there's no voter fraud?
They always tell us there's no voter fraud. Now, I'll be honest. Yeah, I worked at Project Veritas for a number of years. We do hidden camera investigative journalism.
Yes.
We spent a lot of time at Veritas looking into voter fraud. I don't think there is the mass-scale voter fraud that flips elections. I don't think we have that.
Okay, all right.
I think we have a lot of legal fraud where they legalize ballot harvesting in states like California and bend the rules to their own advantage.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if they want to make the conspiracy theories disappear, it's not too difficult to ask people to show an ID when they register to vote.
But I think what we're headed to here is a battle plan, and they had planned on registering all of these voters that they brought in during Joe Biden's presidency, and I think we've interrupted that. That's why Mark Wayne Mullen said we got 250,000 illegals registered to vote in 4 states. You extrapolate that nationwide, that's millions of people. So while you may think that of massive voter fraud, it sounds like they were well on their way to establishing a plan to upset the election apple cart in the favor of Democrats by using illegal votes.
You know, when dealing with the government in any government agency, I think ineptitude is most frequently the most likely cause of action.
I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt, Adam.
I will never give them the benefit of the doubt in terms of ineptitude.
Well, whatever.
They've got systems set up where as soon as you get your license, they register you to vote. Now, they should purge those people after the fact because they're not citizens. They're not eligible to vote, even if they're able to get licenses in those states. But I don't trust a government agency to actually purge those people. I think it's ineptitude and probably corruption, even more so than fraud.
They don't investigate voter fraud at all in California. So how are you going to know? How are you going to know? You got this DSA, these young kids who have no jobs, $250,000 in debt, work at Starbucks, making $30,000 a year, and they want to take over the country, get rid of the Senate, get rid of private business and all of this. Last night, one of those candidates got beaten in Arizona. What do you think as far as this is one with small amounts of voters in places like New York, not taking away from the severity of the possibility of the situation, but what are your thoughts of the DSA and what's happening in the Democrat Party right now?
Well, every American should be terrified because voters don't believe that these socialists are actually socialists. You know, if you ask a voter, well, what are the DSA about? Oh, they just want to share money more equally. People deserve their fair share. They want to make sure rich people pay their taxes. But then when you actually look at the things that are being said by these DSA people, these are communists.
Yes.
These are people who say that they are Westerners against Western civilization. These are people who view July 4th the way we view 9/11.
Yeah.
These are the opposite of patriots.
I know.
These are people with evil principles who want to destroy our nation, and we must take them at their word.
Now, if you look, the Democrat Party. Let's just use Graham Plattner as an example here. The Democrat Party, they knew exactly what was going on with Graham Plattner. If you say that he was not vetted, you are a fool. The thing that caused him to be replaced was not that final woman saying that he raped her. It was that he was losing because that Monday before he withdrew, he was, I believe, 3 points behind Susan Collins. So I believe they would elect the devil himself if they thought he could win, but he was behind, and that's why I feel like they needed to get him out of the race. What do you think?
Oh, gosh. The devil himself would probably have the backing of pretty much the entire DSA and nearly everybody in MSNBC.
Yes.
My gosh, they wouldn't even need to have her primary. You're exactly right. I, like many people, think that final leak that came out about Plattner was put out by his own party. Because you look at the timing of it, it was about a week before the deadline.
Yeah.
So, of course, they knew this. Of course, they leaked this so that the Republicans didn't leak it 1 week before Election Day.
Yes.
These far-left radicals will tolerate anything but a loser. You can do horrible things to women, say horrible things about soldiers and veterans, but if you're not going to win, they'll kick you to the curb.
You know, let me ask you this, Adam. Say, for instance, do you have a daughter, by the way?
I do not.
You do not? Okay. All right, then I'll just use a job interview. You're interviewing candidates for a job. I want you to stop when you would say, we're not going to proceed with this interview. Thanks for coming, okay? So here you go. Ready? Number one, do you have any tattoos? Answer: yes, I have a Totenkopf tattoo on my chest. It's the tattoo, the official tattoo of the Nazi SS who guarded the prisons in the Jewish concentration camps. Do you continue the interview and you say, "Thank you, Mr. Plattner, we'll be in touch"?
Yeah, I think you say check, please, and you call security. This is the bizarre world we live in. I'm a Jew who takes on anti-Semitism on college campuses. They call me a Nazi.
I know.
This guy literally has a Nazi tattoo, and they wanted to call him senator.
You know, let me ask you this: as far as American universities, they were the canary in the coal mine with regard to the rise of anti-Semitism in this country. Started with the day after October the 7th denial, which was bought and paid for by people outside of our country to erase the second Holocaust, which was October the 7th. That was the canary in the coal mine. Now we've got this DSA. What's happening on campuses right now? Has that is it been attacked? Is it being? I know it still exists, but are we better off than we were a few years ago?
Yes and no. Okay. We're better off in that the violent encampments are gone. So the obvious visuals of racism and anti-Americanism and anti-Semitism is gone. But what's much more dangerous and can have much more long-term damage is the DEI they're embedding into every facet of education, even in red states with DEI bans. Only 3 states, Kansas, North Carolina, and Florida, actually have a DEI ban worth the paper it's printed on. So in the other 47, into every facet of education, they're pushing the notion that America is systemically racist, that capitalism is inherently racist, and they start pushing these things as early as kindergarten.
Yeah, and you know where else they've been pushing it?
By the administrators.
Did you watch the woman in charge of the Smithsonian yesterday? It was the same pap. It was the same Marxist communist pap that is at American universities being spewed by this Karen from hell on Capitol Hill who's in charge of our Smithsonian museums. I want to cover that on the other side of the break. If you can hold on, Adam Guillette. Can you hold on?
Absolutely.
Lovely, lovely. All right, so Adam Guillette, Accuracy in Media. Adam Guillette at X. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is a woman who's in charge of the exhibits at all 21 Smithsonian museums, and she seems perfectly well adjusted to me. Let's meet her.
Before we begin, let us pause to acknowledge with gratitude the native peoples on whose land we gather today. These are the ancestral homelands of the Piscataway people, joined by the Nacotchtank and the Paumonkey tribes, and of course their descendants. We acknowledge the native peoples more broadly of the Americas.
I would like to put my heartfelt thank you and gratitude out to the native peoples who once, 500 years ago, occupied this land. We think, we don't have any evidence of it, but we guesstimate that they did, and we are so thankful to be utilizing their territories. Is this woman out of her mind? I hate to tell you this, but it's not their land. I'm sorry, but it is a fact that human beings have been conquering other human beings for as long as there have been human beings. It's not unique to the white man. It's not unique to the Pilgrims. But this woman is the perfect example of what the left have become in this country.
Yeah,
look at her.
Rob Finnerty last night. I mean, nobody does a monologue like Rob Finnerty. It is fantastic. And Adam Guillette, this woman in charge of the Smithsonian's. I live here in Washington, D.C., and this is the same, carbon copy woke nonsense they've been feeding academia for years. Same crap, right?
We've taken the dumbest, most hateful people of our society, and we've given them big, fat paychecks from the taxpayers each and every day. And it drives me nuts because I love history. I love Smithsonian museums. But you go into any of them, and it's literally as if we found the leader of the DSA and said, do your best to describe American history and American society.
She went so far as, I believe, to take American out of one of the museum's names, essentially. She is the Democrat Party. She is the crazy cul-de-sac dwelling intellectual academic cat lady Karen. That's exactly what this is. She's even an up-talker. That's the worst thing. She's an up-talker. She's in charge of the Smithsonian, and she's an up-talker. Can you believe that this is, in fact, this woman has to be removed. She's got to be removed from this. And then did you hear the caterwauling by the left? Because you want to take out this obviously carbon copy Marxist propaganda, it's somehow erasing black history, even though there is an African American history museum right down the block. If they really want to do, they would blow it up.
The African American History Museum should focus on some of the incredibly wonderful African Americans who have been a part of our history. Instead, they focus on, quote, aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture, which not only claims that politeness is a white culture trait. Yes. Only white people can be polite, obviously, but it also said the respect for authority, planning for the future, the notion that hard work is the key to success. It says that those are aspects of white culture. Only white people can believe that hard work is the key to success. These are the most racist people in our society,
I swear
and they think that we are the bad ones.
Yeah, politeness is obviously a sign of white supremacy. If you ever been to a cross burning, they're very polite. They're like, hey, could you hand me that accelerant and that torch over there? I want to go burn this cross on the front of the lawn in the front of the Baptist church. You notice they're very polite. They're also very prompt.
The notion that the individual should have rights is an essence of white culture. Well, that's rather in contrast with slavery. Slavery is a pretty strong argument for individual rights, because if you have individual rights for every human, you can't have slavery. These are things that are enshrined in our Constitution, our founding documents, our framing documents, and obviously this woman hates all of them.
It is remarkable. By the way, can I just real quick, I just moved into the Newsmax studios here in Washington, D.C. on 14th Street, and I would like to acknowledge the landowners of this, before this building, the Neanderthals. A lot of the times you don't recognize the Neanderthals, but centuries ago, 10,000 maybe more years ago, they claimed this place to be home and hunted the woolly mammoth. So I want to acknowledge them real quick. Nobody ever notices the Neanderthals. Thank you very much. The Neanderthals were here before the Native Americans, for God's sake.
Well, I don't think it's polite to talk about Ted Kennedy in such a way. But I suppose.
Well, there are a lot of Neanderthals in the Democrat Party. You'd think there would be some deference from the considering there are so many Neanderthals in the Democrat Party. Ridiculous. One more thing before we go, Adam Guillette. I got a comment about this Sunny host, and she always talks about privilege and white privilege and all this, and she used her privilege to try to get her son out of a trespassing charge. Here's the audio from her and the police.
Hey, Mom, how are you? This is Officer Gomez. Your son's fine, right?
Officer Gomez,
how are you?
This is
Yes,
former
yes.
federal prosecutor.
Okay, fair
That's
enough.
my son.
Yeah.
He's a Harvard graduate.
Yeah.
He's not a criminal. He has no criminal record, no criminal history.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing? She whips out her I'm a federal prosecutor and my son went to Harvard. Really?
I would love to have the level of privilege and hypocritical privilege this woman exhibits every day. Let's remember, this is the same woman who said that she deserves reparations, even though it came out that she's actually the descendant of slave owners.
I know.
She gets to be the victim and have privilege. She gets to have both sides of every debate. It's sickening.
It is, and it's also just laughable. I like to say that conservative comedy is on the ascent because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. Adam Guillette, I'm sure you would have to agree. This is why this show's doing well. This is why Greg Gutfeld is and honestly, you have to take them seriously to defeat them, but at the same time, one of our best weapons is mockery, and they deserve every bit of that.
Ridicule is man's most potent political weapon. They're heroes, she said. And honestly, they bring it upon themselves.
I know.
Because they don't do hard-hitting interviews. They don't come on this show. They don't often go on Fox.
No.
So they're never getting challenged. So when faced with the slightest bit of adversity, they crumble and embarrass themselves each time.
And then they have senatorial candidates who claim to be women having their periods out their butt. I mean, dear God in heaven, what the hell is going on in this world? Adam Guillette. Adam Guillette, where can people find your glorious presence online?
Our website is aim.org, AIM.org. We're active on every single social media platform, and Accuracy Media is releasing a new hidden camera investigation this afternoon. We're going to put frowns in the faces of some bad people.
Oh, I can't wait to check it out. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you, bro. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Oh, it's a mad world. It's a mad world, isn't it? Yeah, the Smithsonian Karen, what a psychotic, what a just an insult. She's a freaking Karen. She's a freaking Karen. Let me find the other soundbite. I got to find this other soundbite from Rob Finnerty. It's brilliant. Oh, Mickey Mouse. Oh, my God. I got to play that next. Oh, and then Jim Gossett's got a new song. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on one second. I'll get it 1 second here. Sorry, Jim Gossett, new song today. It's, Mickey Mouse is racist. Let me download that. I've got to add that real quick. Add that. Sorry, I got to do this before the next break. I apologize. I, try to juggle everything here. Mickey Mouse is racist. All right, I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to move it down. And then I'm going to talk to you guys. Hi, Scarecrow. What up? How you doing? Move down, move down, move down, move down, move down, move down. There you go. This is what happens when you run your own audio. I apologize. I get a little bit distracted at times. But, there's only one person who can keep up with a hamster on cocaine between my ears, and that's me. There you go. Wild Bill West says she should be on an HOA. She probably is, dude. She acts like a busybody Gladys Kravitz kind of thing. That's what she kind of acts like. Busybody Gladys Kravitz. That's what this Smithsonian director is. Who's watching over here? Leslie Ladyhawk. Hello, Leslie Ladyhawk. And William Ratcliffe. Hello. What's going on? How you guys doing? You enjoying the show? I'm enjoying the show. I think we're having a damn good show today. Adam Guillette was good, wasn't he? I think we made that interview a lot of fun, didn't we? We did. Mickey Mouse is racist. All right. Who's watching over on Facebook? Oh, I said hi to you guys over there. A few more comments. We've got this little bitty window to look at comments. Kathy Doman, hello. Kathy and Prana Yubershot, how you doing? Oh, time for me to talk.
About $250 a year.
Led Zeppelin, come on! And Rob Finnerty from Newsmax.
institution, one of your exhibits referenced Mickey Mouse as representing, quote, vestiges of long-standing traditions of blackface minstrelsy.
Yeah.
Would you describe that as racist?
No, the historical trajectory of the origins of Mickey Mouse tied directly
so Mickey Mouse is rooted in racism. Is that your testimony?
No, sir, it's rooted in minstrelly.
He's a mouse. He was first created when television was in black and white.
Oh, yeah.
And when you only have two colors with which to work, you get a lot of black and white.
Yeah.
And by the way, the 1928 Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse that she was referencing actually has a white face.
Yeah,
there it is right there.
True,
He doesn't have a black face.
No.
There's nothing racist about it. This woman is in charge of all those little placards that are next to exhibits when you go to the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
That's a problem. This woman is a problem.
Yeah. This is brand new from Jim Gossett, everybody, on the Rob Carson Show.
Who's the leader of our gang? Who's racist as can be? M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E, Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
He's a louse.
He's a louse.
Smithsonian says he needs to go, 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 go. They say that he's in blackface as they rewrite history. M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E.
3 Ks.
Snow White, she is racist too. Why can't she be Snow Black? Every Disney character is under attack. Donald Duck would have no luck.
No luck.
If all his feathers were not lily white, 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 that nut Athena Harding as whacked out as can be. Can't her today send her away? She needs therapy.
Wow. Jim Gossett.
She needs therapy.
There you go. By the way, it's M-I-C-K-K-K-E-Y because he's so racist, Mickey Mouse. You know, they've got a real problem with Snow White supremacy over there at the Disney. It's so stupid. This is why conservative comedy is ascending, because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. This awful, crazy cat lady Karen, who is in charge of the Smithsonian, needs to be removed like those Harvard Karens, the Ivy League Karens who were in charge, that Elise Stefanik got to quit their jobs. The same thing has to happen to this woman. Boot her the hell out of the Smithsonian. My God. Let's take a break and come back. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. And by the way, we made it the top 10 political commentary podcasts in America. That's kind of crazy. That's just crazy. And pretty darn cool as well. It floored me. We found out a few weeks ago. We were right behind Victor Davis Hanson and other names like Glenn Beck and whatnot. And a lot of people in the broadcast industry, we've flown under their radar because I've been sending those people resume tapes for years and they've been ignoring me. So we did this. Chris Ruddy hired me. And my gosh, there you go. This is what's happening. And right now we got this guy in charge of Newsmax audio and podcasting. His name's Ralph. And he's just kicking butt and taking names, man. And it is growing exponentially, bigger than we ever thought. I went to the capital of the United States of America last, was it Monday night I went? Monday night, I think it was. Went over there, was invited by the Speaker of the House and others, and I was part of a bunch of conservative influencers, people there from Babylon Bee and TPUSA and who else? Stephen Crowder was over. No, he wasn't there, but people from his organization were there. And I got to introduce everybody. And they're like, who the hell is this guy? This is why I moved here, guys. This is why I moved here. This is why I brought you here. This is why I'm in Washington, D.C. And I just moved a little over a week ago into the Newsmax studios. There was this little, broom closet over here. I'm not kidding. And the folks at Newsmax here in this building, they don't know who the hell. I mean, they're like, well, who is this guy? Because this room was an empty room. This room was an empty room a week ago with an old desk, an old metal desk in here. They said, here you go, this is your space. And you know what I did? I ordered acoustic panels for the walls, and I put up my neon sign, and I put up lights, and I put up my TV, and I bought a new desk, 2 new desks, bought 2 brand new desks in here, and in this little walk-in closet here, we're going to have room for 2 guests and the host. Nationally syndicated radio program, live stream, and I tape my TV show in here. Unbelievable. See what happens when you're married for 28 years and you watch HGTV for most of it? You see what happens? It's crazy. I opened the door and the big part of the HGTV show is the end when they do the reveal and the people come in and they get their eyes closed and they walk in, you take it off and oh my God, I can't believe my house is so beautiful. That's what people are like in this room. They're like, what the hell did you do? Who did this? Me. What? You host the show. No, I did it. Because I'm not here to mess around. I'm here to make a noise that the establishment cannot ignore, and we're doing it, and Newsmax is doing it with us. And I thank Chris Ruddy for doing it, and my friend Ralph now, and Redneck MacGyver, and Brian running the board at WCBM, and everybody makes this thing possible. And John in social media, all the social media producers we got going on, and we're just dipping our toes in it. It's going to get so big you have no idea. We're going to start to have guests live in studio, hopefully next week. I ordered a microphone. We got an extra camera. You're going to see the movers and shakers. You're going to see people in my studio talking to me. It's going to get big. I have to tell you, last night, though, I was about to... This little half-hour show that I do takes a substantial part of about 3 days to do. And the reason being is I have to choose the video clips that I'm going to use, then write my script around it, and then get the clips cleared through legal. And it is a landmine field. I'll just put it that way. And I write the script and the whole deal, and then we got to make it, and then I tape it on Tuesdays. Last night I go to tape the show. I think I have a great show. I am rocking the world. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good one. I'm going to do it. And I get home, and Brian, my editor, says, Rob, you've got to do the show over again because you had the wrong background behind you. I had the Rob Carson show background, not Rob Carson's What in the World, which is the TV show's name, behind me. And I've been, dudes, you have no idea the stuff that I've been going through the last week to move over here, and there's other stuff in my personal life that I can't get to on the air that have been some of the most trying things I've ever been faced with. I've been faced with so many things the last couple of years, and the divorce and the whole deal. And then now it's like, why? What? Okay, I get it. I got a guy downstairs. You're trying to do that again to me. Well, guess what? I'm not going. I was talking to a friend of mine last night. I said, guess what? It's not going to get me down. I got into the car today, and I turned on five-finger death punch, and I drove in at 7 o'clock to repeat my show because, by God, I'm not going to get down. Do you know why? Because we've got to win an election. We've got to keep both houses of Congress, and we've got to continue marching this country toward greatness and continuing to save it. That's what we got to do. That's why I'm here. Our country was a bleep show when Joe Biden was the president. We were on the way to oblivion. We were on the way to all of the work of our ancestors, our fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers, all of them, going to hell, all of the hell they went through to get us to this point where we live richer than we've ever lived before, where we can just get on Amazon and order whatever we want. You can do Uber Eats, whatever you want. Maybe your grandparents. My mother had an outhouse. My father had an outhouse. My father had dirt floors. He was born in 1922, was old enough to be my grandfather. His grandfather was a fur trapper from Canada who had to shoot or grow what he ate every night. The same went for my grandfather. Meanwhile, my daughter ordered Chipotle and had it delivered to the apartment last night. That's why I'm here. We are here, homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews. We are here to save our country, and by God, we're not going to let these commies, these little punks, these little brats take it away from us. It's not going to happen. I think we need to hear my theme song. I think we need to hear the theme song of the Rob Carson Show. This is officially it. I said that homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews were going to have to come together to save our nation. I absolutely believe that is true. I'm trying to get it open. Of course, as I'm trying to set it up, my computer is doing weird crap. It always does. It's like, it's cancel. It's like this whenever I want to do it, but I'm going to play it anyway. The theme song of this show, come together now.
Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews are Rob Carson's friends.
This is going to be the name of my book, by the way. Yeah.
Better believe that they'll be friends to the end.
Got to come together to save America. Come on, Willie.
A new coalition to promote freedom. They're all about liberty.
Jim Gossett.
The perfect trio to combat the left and look out for you and me.
Hell yeah.
Mamas, please let your babies grow up to be homeboys.
Why the heck not?
Hillbillies and Hebrews is who you should raise. You'll receive nothing but absolute praise.
Come on!
Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews are saving this country.
We got to save it. We got to save it.
They love this land and they'll give you a hand. We need to give them our thanks.
There you go. That is...
Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews are friends to this nation.
Come on!
They've got our back when we're under attack. Homeboys, hillbillies, Hebrews.
There you go. That's it. That's the theme. We got to come together. Save America. Homeboys, hillbillies, Hebrews, Hispanics, homeowners, homemakers, handgun owners. Yeah. 80% of us believe the country was headed the wrong direction when Joe Biden was the president. 80% of us are going to come together to save our country. And now many Democrats are leaving this party, are going to go leave this party because they've gone so bat guano crazy towards the communist end of the spectrum. Here's a Florida Democrat state minority leader, Jason Pizzo, leaving the Democrat Party.
And my boys, guys, I'm excited for this. This makes me happy and clean and clear. And here's the issue. The Democratic Party in Florida is dead.
Good.
But there are good people that can resuscitate it.
Yeah.
But they don't want it to be me. That's not convenient. It's not cool. I'm not having a Jerry Maguire moment right now, like, who's coming with me?
You should.
But that's the truth. The party that my dad volunteered for in JFK when he was 18 years old in 1960 is not the party today.
No, it's not. My dad was a Roosevelt Democrat. He was a World War II veteran. He believed in what Theodore Roosevelt, or not Theodore, but Franklin Roosevelt did. I'm not a big fan of Franklin Roosevelt. The World War II is what got us out of the Depression. It wasn't all the TVA spending and all that stuff, although we got some pretty damn good dams out of it and all of that, you know. But my dad was a respectable Democrat. And the only difference between Democrats and Republicans really is that Democrats are supposed to be for a large federal government, and the Republicans are for states' rights. That was the difference, and now it's just the Democrat Party off the rails completely, anti-American, hating America, the whole deal. Brandon Gill, by the way, great congressman, talking about most Americans don't want the DSA, Democrat Socialists of America, have to offer.
Well, I think most Americans recognize, first of all, that, to your point, communism is an ideology that has tried and failed multiple times throughout history and has created more misery than any single ideology ever invented. Hundreds of millions of people who have died in the name of communism. But I also think that most Americans recognize that the policy prescriptions that the Democrats are putting forward are not only insane, but those are the very things that are putting America in a difficult position right now. In other words, it is the Democrats who is taking away the birthright of our children by flooding our country with illegal aliens who are taking jobs, who are flooding our medical system, who are reducing the quality of our educational system, who are on welfare that we are paying for. These are the policies that Democrats have been supporting. Reckless spending that's driving up inflation, a welfare state that's cramping the private sector. That's the Democrat Party, and I think most Americans recognize that and see the pain that it's caused to us.
I told you, and I told you, and I told you. Homeboys, Hillbillies, Hebrews. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Here's the deal. The government is over...
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
There you go. Little Alice in Chains for you. Them bones. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to get to before the end of the radio program. Lindsey Graham's going to be honored in the U.S. Capitol in the Rotunda. It's it's sad. It is sad. He's going to be honored in a ceremony in the Capitol Rotunda July 28th. John Thune said details of the Capitol ceremony will be released later, but added the ceremony will recognize Graham's more than 3 decades of congressional service and public career that also included his military service and state government. He was a colonel in the military. So, yeah, he died way too soon. It's a tragic loss. We moved through the news cycle so quickly that we move on the next day, and we have to remember, the only way to honor those who've gone before us is memory. And, I think about my mother every day, the only way that I can honor her is to, when you say honor her memory, it's the only way you can honor her. And then, of course, obviously live the best life you can. But anyway, we move on very quickly. It's like, okay, we're on and gone. Well, and sooner or later we will all be dust in the wind, as Kansas used to say. But, I think about this every once in a while because, we all think about our mortality and everything. And Lindsey Graham, I'll remember him. We disagreed at times. I remember one time I went to, when I first, when was it? Was it CPAC a couple of years ago? I came to CPAC a couple of years ago and brought a friend of mine, Mark Giuliani, gave me my studio that I had in Old Town Alexandria briefly before I moved to the Newsmax studio. And he and my friend Walt Palmer at WGMD Radio, one of our affiliate stations, came into town, and I went over and got a tour of the Capitol. Was it then? Anyway, the only time that I was in the chamber of the House, I sat and sat in the gallery, and Lindsey Graham was talking. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I remember it was. So there you go. By the way, we have members of the staff of the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who listen to the show or view the podcast. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's really kind of cool. And tonight I've been invited to a very special event that I can't tell you about at a local military base. It's quite an honorable thing, but I will share on social media for you. I just feel very very fortunate to be able to do what I do. And if you want to, I want to share it with you. So watch my social media, will you? Just go to Rob Carson Show. All of my social media, Rob Carson Show. This includes Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, Truth Social, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Getter. Man, I don't have a life, do I? 9 social media, TikTok, 10 social media platforms. I mean, I know it's crazy. It's like I think I'm important or something. No, not really. I just want to reach you guys. I want to share. So Zoran Mandami, he threatened to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. He's like Barney Fife when Andy leaves town, taking over as sheriff. What a punk. Honestly, what a punk this man is. And if you look at his, maybe you guys don't remember the fall of the Shah of Iran and the ushering in of the Ayatollah. He looks like every one of the people the students and whatnot, who ushered in the Ayatollah. He looks just like him. Same hair, same beard, same fake smile, same dark lines under the eyes. There's something dark and despicable about this human being, and there's only one reason. Think about this. So, he's an Islamist first. Didn't I tell you that? He's an Islamist first. He is an Islamist first and foremost. He is socialist second. Do you know why he's socialist? Because he wants idiot Gen Z socialist voters to vote for him because they don't know history. That's why. Do you know why he's LGBTQIA friendly? Do you think he really loves you transgendered and gays? No, he does not. This is why he can glad hand the most radical imams in New York City who hate gays, who would throw them off of buildings, and they're able to hug Zohran Mamdani rather than say, you're not an Islam, you're not a Muslim, you're not a Muslim, you're not a Muslim. You know why? Because they know he's lying to use them to get him elected, and this is how he rolls. This is why the only person he wanted to have arrested when they come to the United States, to the United Nations, was Benjamin Netanyahu. And he says it's for war crimes. He says it's because he's bombing hospitals. Well, you know what? It would help if Hamas didn't put their damn missile batteries in the courtyards of hospitals or under daycare centers. But here is Zohran Mamdani being taken to task for only demanding, of all the despotic people in the world, only demanding a guy who isn't despotic, but the leader of Israel, be arrested.
I just wanted to follow up on Melissa's question about why Netanyahu specifically is often targeted in some of your comments. For example, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, he was arrested for a warrant that was here in the U.S., and you were very against that. So I guess how do you place more emphasis on the warrants that were issued by the International Criminal Court than here in the U.S.?
Yeah, it's because I hate the Jews. That's why. Oh, did I let that slip out? So nothing.
How do you reconcile those two?
I would say that the International Criminal Court is a body that seeks to hold those across the world accountable.
You are beholden to the Constitution of the United States, not that court.
For crimes against humanity, for war crimes, for things of that nature. And I think that the United States should not only be a party to that court, but should also execute the warrants that court issues.
Not at all.
And what I have spoken up about Nicolas Maduro,
we don't answer to anyone.
I've also described appropriately as a dictator, is that the violation of international law is one that has to also be taken very seriously.
No, our Constitution comes first. Junior, give him a little pat on the head, a little kick in the butt. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. I trust Relief Factor. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed. And of course, we'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Mark, for instance, was in tears from his daily hand joint discomfort. But after a week on Relief Factor, he felt 50% better. Now he barely even notices any pain. I can attest to this. It used to hurt getting up and out of chairs or even off the bench press at the gym. Not so much anymore. People like Mark make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us a Relief Factor story and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks now for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. They'll do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story too. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4RELIEF.
When let us sit aside, cause it's quite an attack, cyclosporin. When raspberries you eat keeps you on the throne seat, cyclosporin. Stomach churns and you'll feel some burns as the parasite starts to infect you. To the drugstore you go, pick up some Pepto that you know won't protect you or affect you. Taco that you consumed, it was safe, you assumed cyclosporin. The feeling you get that you'd like to forget you're in pain. When it's clear you are one suffering senorita. Excuse me, can't you see no more salads for me, cyclosporin? cyclist parade.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson. By the way, Trump-endorsed candidate Andy Biggs will be the Republican candidate for governor in Arizona, taking on the crazy Karen, Katie Hobbs, who is the governor now. And by the way, I don't know if you remember this, and I certainly would not want to challenge the legality of her election, but you may recall during that gubernatorial election, 60% of the voting machines in Maricopa County weren't working. So there's that. Katie Hobbs. What a Charlie Foxtrot she has been. I'm hoping Andy Biggs kicks her rear end up between her shoulders, because Arizona deserves better, to be quite honest. They really do. Want to mention something here. I am in the Newsmax headquarters here in Washington, D.C., and I started working for Newsmax around 7 years ago. And it is a blessing beyond, I am blessed beyond belief. That's my slogan for the show. Instead of the EIB network, we're the BBB network, blessed beyond belief. I get to work with great people like Greta Van Susteren, who I just saw this morning, walked by her window in her office and went towards the door handle. It was locked. She's like, okay, bye. Anyway, Carl Higbee. She's actually very polite to me. She's very cool. Rob Schmidt, Finity, and more. Get off of big media. You know, honestly, look what NBC and ABC and MS Now and CNN and all the other networks did when Donald Trump told everyone that China stole the voter information of 220 million voters. The networks ignored that story. It was declassified information. The networks chose not to cover the story. Are you watching that crap? You should not be watching that crap. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not only going to get, you're going to get people who do not change their stripes People like Rob Finnerty, people like Carl Higbee. They are connective. They are smart. Finnerty does some brilliant monologues. Higbee's just an American badass. It's a hell of a show. It's a hell of a network. I watch it every night. You got to watch it any time of the day. Newsmax. We don't abandon our principles. We have conservative principles, and like many of our journalists, like Greta Van Susteren, right down the line. I don't know if she's conservative, liberal, or otherwise. I do not know. But you can get all of President Trump's most important events live. The Huckabees is Israel special, Melania documentary, Charlie Kirk specials, all sorts of stuff. Get a Newsmax Plus membership if you would, newsmaxplus.com. Just sign up there. I do it because I like to listen to Finnerty and whatnot when I'm in the gym or when I'm in my Bronco Buck. Thank you very much, because I don't want to miss out on the monologue. I don't want to miss out on Finnerty's monologue. I don't want to miss out on Rob Schmidt's take on stuff. Newsmaxplus.com. Download the Newsmax app. Make the switch to Newsmax Plus, because I swear to God, and this is another reason why I'm here. I'm here to promote this company, this brand, and this man, Chris Ruddy, who gave me this shot. And that's also a part of it. So there you go. Democrats are very concerned about the vampires they let into their home.
I am tired of a set of people on the very far left in the Democratic Party. These are terrible ideas. These are awful ideas. Where did these ideas even come from?
There have been some extraordinarily loony ideas coming from some of these people. Getting rid of prisons, getting rid of cops. That didn't work well for Democrats before.
I'm not living in communist America.
No.
I've read the quotes from the DSA platform, from their own mouths. They say things like, takeover of key industries, government. That's communism.
It's not going to happen because we have too many business owners, entrepreneurs, that they just want to come in. They don't have jobs. They've never had jobs. They owe student debt. They got worthless degrees, and they're going to tell you can't have your coffee shop. You can't have your car repair place. You can't have your franchise. Screw you. Those are fighting words. Those are fighting words. Fighting words. We ain't going that way. We are just quite simply not going that way. I was watching Brandon Gill. Brandon Gill is very wise for the number of years he's been on the planet. Let me find it here. Here is, this is Brandon Gill. Now, I told you this the other day. I said the Democrat Party is reaping what it sowed. The Democrat Party, for literally the last 35 years, have pushed the country and academia leftward. I remember back in Columbia, Missouri, around 1990-ish, I saw the first kind of inklings of this movement, where there was a university called Stevens College. It used to be a finishing school where women would go get their MRS degree. And now it's a place where radical leftists go to school, women who don't shave their armpits and don't really like guys much. That said, and I can't even imagine what it's like now, but I remember they changed some of the words on campus, like manhole. You couldn't say manhole. and they took the men out of the word women. They spelled women W-O-M-Y-N. I'll never forget it. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then it only got worse. And then the leftward march moved forward, where conservative speakers were being, it started with Ann Coulter and it moved on, and then it became the Black Lives Matter on campus and all that. And now it's just became full-on indoctrination. Leftists hate America. All this. It has parlayed into the summer of 2020. No kings. All of this nonsense. Elon Musk is a Nazi. All of this radical nonsense attacking ICE, officers. It is a Marxist communist movement. That is what has happened. And now the Democrat Party, they were fine not saying, it's mostly peaceful protests in summer 2020. They didn't care that your business burned down. They didn't care whatever you said about our country. They didn't do a dang thing. But now, guess who's being eaten alive by it? The Democrat Party is being eaten alive by it. Their progeny are coming home, and they are going to destroy the Democrat Party. And if there's ever been a moment of smelling salts to wake the Democrat Party, or at least whatever few common sense Democrats there are, this would be that moment. I know many of you went down. The people who are back gone crazy, they don't listen to me, so I don't talk to them. But even if Van Jones thinks the party's gone too far left, it's way, 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 way. So this is an opportunity to save the party, or like I said, let it go to the dustbin of history. And if you adapt the Democrat Socialists of America, you will disappear into the dustbin of history. Here is Brandon Gill talking about reaping what you sow.
Realize the direction that their party is going. I think your average rank and file Democrat in the House right now recognizes that the Democratic Socialists are no longer the fringe in their party. That is the mainstream. That's where their base is. And they're not going to speak out against that because they don't want the backlash from their base. But you know, it's really rich whenever you have these relative moderates. Many of these are still far left Democrats, but relative moderates complaining about the direction that their party is going whenever this is the direction they put their party on. This is the trajectory.
You invited the vampires into your house.
They put their party on. If you're going to spend all of your time bashing capitalism, you should expect the younger Democrats who listen to that to become socialists. If you're
Bernie Sanders, you're not safe. You just don't know it yet.
going to spend all your time bashing the police like the Democrats have done, expect younger Democrats to support defunding the police. If you're going to spend all your time bashing America as a white supremacist country, you should expect younger Democrats to hate that country and want to abolish its institutions like the Senate. So what we're seeing is the Democrats are reaping what they've been sowing for so long.
Now, you heard originally people like Hakeem Jeffries saying, we got a big tent. We're all fine. And then you hear like this idiot Chevalier in New York City saying she's not going to vote for Hakeem Jeffries as House Leader. Where's Hakeem Jeffries today? Is he welcoming him in? Where's Nancy Pelosi? Where's Chuck Schumer? They're not talking about the DSA. Where did they go? The only hangers-on are people like Elizabeth Warren. This is big. We are in the middle of a Democrat Party civil war. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
is that we have gone so long letting the left say the most crazy, outlandish things, saying that you are a white supremacist if you're polite, or that being on time, being objective are evidences of white culture. I mean, these things are genuinely insane and objectively offensive, I think, to a lot of Americans. And I think it's time that we call the left out on this stuff and put them on the spot and make them answer for this. Make them explain to the American people what they really mean whenever they say that being polite is somehow evidence of white supremacy. And that's what we tried to do there.
It really is an insult to people of other races to say that. They're basically saying you can't be prompt or, whatever, or you can't be polite. So it's the same nonsense. This is what the left does. They say, you can't get an ID if you're black or you're rural or you're a woman to vote. They are just, it's really remarkable. I just retweeted, as it were, re-X'd. Is it re-X'd? Holy hell. A young man refusing to stand for the national anthem at Wrigley Field on Sunday's game between the Chicago Cubs and the Minnesota Twins. And this older man was standing there, and this kid was sitting there during the anthem, being a little smart, whatever. And the crowd was like, hey, stand up, stand up. So the old man gave him a smack upside the head, just smacked him in the back of the head. Get up, boy. And he stood right up, man. Oh, he stood right up. It was old school, man. It was the kind of stuff that your dad would do to you. Like, you get your butt up, you stand up right now during that national. And this kid looked there with this look of shame, his head down. But I got to tell you, we got to have more of this, man. We got to have more of this. Because it was just, it was just glorious to watch. Again, it's on my... Twitter feed anyway, on my X feed. The Democrat Party, like I said, is going lurching way leftward, and this is Seth Moulton. It should be Seth Moldy, because he's a grotesque mold growth. He's an awful human being, and over he was on, I guess, MS Now, talking about, and by the way, the Democrat Party has known this all along. All of the issues that he's talking about, the Democrats did not recognize. They knew it all along. They ignored it purposefully. So everything you hear right now that he says, oh, the Democrat Party, we've made a mistake by doing this and by doing this. They knew it all along. This is not a revelation. They chose to put the country down this path. Listen to this guy.
There are a lot of people in America who feel that the Democratic Party is out of touch. We can't be honest about what's going on.
Oh, yeah. No kidding. No kidding. All you do is complain about what Donald Trump does and hold stupid protests like No Kings or Elon Musk is a Nazi. Duh.
With immigration. We don't have a plan for immigration.
What, really? Really? Well, no kidding. You open the border for 4 years. See, this is it. That's, okay. He's trying to separate himself from the DSA. You had all these people who bedded down with the DSA, and now all of a sudden this week they're going, holy crap, what we have done. He's trying to cover his own rear end.
We're not able to say what actually Democrats should do to fix the problem. All we are is opposition to Trump.
They've all known that.
Under Biden, we said inflation is not really a big deal. It's transitory. It's going to go away.
Whoa. They knew that it was a problem. They ignored it. The liberal media ignored it when it was 9% interest. Remember that song, Rich Men North of Richmond? Remember that song? Richmond North of Richmond, the whatever. All got total control. Remember that song, Oliver Anthony? It was a massive hit. You know why? Because we went from being able to fill your grocery cart at Walmart with $250 to only filling the bottom of it. I remember it. I watched it all. You used to be able to buy salmon for $7.99 a pound. You can't get it for $12 a pound now. You can't buy steak. Forget about steak. Forget about friggin' ribeye steak. You used to be able to get ribeye steak on sale for $10.99. Start trying $18, $19, $20 a pound. I saw it all. That's why they wrote that song. That's why he wrote that song. That was why it's so meaningful. And the Democrat Party acted like it wasn't going to happen. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is bringing down the price on prescription drugs. Donald Trump has cut the price of eggs by, 80%? But guess, Rob, well, we're in the middle of kicking Iran's rear end. And by the way, we've barely gone over $100 a barrel for more than a week or two.
And then the whole party said, hey, don't worry, everything's great. Joe is awesome. He can run for re-election. So
no, he's admitting that Joe Biden's brain was completely fried and he was unable to be the president. Yeah, Seth, you try to save your rear end. It's too late, bro.
The point is, we have this history of kind of just like washing over problems and not addressing real concerns. That
because the media, you know that they will cover you no matter how outrageous the claim is or no matter what you're trying to cover up. That's why you have that hubris.
Voters have. We got to make sure we don't do that in
but
Arizona.
we've got to make sure. Do you think you're doing that now? Because look no further than a state just north of you, Maine, where I kind of feel like that happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think that's honestly. I mean,
too little, too late, boy. Too little, too late, my friend. Did you see down in Texas, Tallarico, he's trying to appeal to black voters because he's bananas. All right, he's nuts. He claims to be a preacher, and he says that God is non-binary, and there are 6 sexes, and it's okay to mutilate children to change their genders. Well, this is a town hall the other day, and he's trying to appeal to black voters, and they're going, really? Really?
So you stay here, you answer our questions, or you suffer the consequences.
So I'm happy to engage. We'll come to here in just a second. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you traveling in, and I appreciate
I did
you.
it for my people, not for you.
Wonderful.
There you go.
That's wonderful.
There you go.
I think that's wonderful. And it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. This is what this conversation's supposed to be about. Yeah. So
nobody wants a soy boy, weakling, vegan man who claims to be man of the cloth, who seems to be reading from the devil's teleprompter. Nobody wants that, and I don't think there's any saving this guy at this guy's candidacy at this point, no matter how hard he tries to pander, because he has already committed the original sin of his beliefs, and he's not changing them. He's just changing his narrative to try to get votes. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hello.
Finding great candidates.
What a show today, huh?
Trying to find a
Hello,
needle in a
Sheila
haystack,
Benton.
But not with
Love Rob,
ZipRecruiter.
love you too,
Its
Sheila
powerful
Benton.
technology actively finds and
How
invites
are ya?
qualified candidates to apply to your
Sheila.
job. So while other companies
Lives
might
in
deliver
North
a lot
Carolina.
of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you
Thanks
the
for watching.
needle in the haystack.
I appreciate
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a
put
job
a lot
on
of effort into
ZipRecruiter get
this
a quality
show, by
candidate
gosh.
within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter
Put
for
a lot of
free
effort
at
into the show,
ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's
I do it for you.
ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I mean, I don't
David
do it
was
for me
in
because,
big trouble with the IRS.
last night I got home at
first,
7:30.
I didn't owe that much, but
And I got
after
into work
this
at
year,
7 o'clock,
it was
so
out
I
of
ain't doing it
control.
for me.
Then David called Get a
Hello,
Tax
Leslie
Lawyer.
Lady Hawk.
Right away, they were like, "Oh
Hello,
yeah, looks like you're qualified
Jose
to save
Garcia.
us." Get a Tax Lawyer went to work. Should have called
83
way
years old.
sooner.
Wow,
Get
good
a
old
Tax
guy, huh?
Lawyer has helped thousands
got a
like
broad
David fight the
demographic,
IRS
David.
and get a
Yes, we do.
fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Grandma's coming!
No. What am I going to do with this house? I don't have the energy this year to listen to her critique my cleaning and how this place looks.
Call MaidPro! Call MaidPro! Call
Bye.
MaidPro!
I know. I'll call MaidPro. Their 49-point checklist will keep your grandmother quiet and get this place back in shape and up to her standards.
The Blocky Blues, yeah.
Oh, God.
I just paid $1.46
Call
for
MaidPro
a dozen eggs. I know, I remember paying like $7. Remember
or
$7?
MaidPro.com because
$7?
grandma's standards aren't standard.
$1.46 for
The
eggs.
Sean Hannity Show.
For anybody that has ever wanted limited government.
Oh, crap. You know what? I forgot to take that down. I apologize, guys. God darn it. I'm an idiot. Audio bleed from WCBM. I apologize. I did it again. God darn it. But anyway, now you got me now for at least a couple seconds here. I apologize, guys. I get a little bit busy. I got to play another soundbite here. Anyway, we'll get her all figured out eventually. I've got to do some things with the board. I've got some channels I'm deselecting and doing a lot of crap, and I got to simplify this, so I apologize.
Are you for or against cross-dressing teachers in schools? I know that you said that you believe that there are 6 genders and Jesus is non-binary, and so in March I had an ordeal at my kids' elementary school where it's very distracting. And so I wanted to know, will you be supporting those things? Because I don't think in elementary schools that is appropriate.
Yeah, I think if you enjoy cross-dressing, you should probably do that at home.
Sure you
not
do.
bring it to work.
Sure you do.
But I also want to say that there are so many cynical politicians who are using our LGBTQ community to grandstand, to score political points?
No, not at all. The LGBTQIA plus on the left are grandstanding and rubbing their agenda in our faces. He's a fraud. James Allarigo is a fraud, a phony, a soy boy, a weak little man, and he's never going to be elected there in Tejas. And if you don't believe me, here's some of the nonsense that he has spewed. And this is, he's doing these black town halls to pander to black people, and they're not buying it.
Every one of our neighbors with a uterus became the property of the state. One of our neighbors with a uterus to be able to control their own body. Our neighbors with a uterus. One of our neighbors with a uterus.
Yeah, you know what they call them? Women. They call them women. Oh, here he is talking about the border wall. Yeah, Texas was overrun by tens of millions of illegals when Joe Biden was the president. People were screaming, close the border. Bodies were being found on ranches. People were being victimized by crime and trafficked. And here's what he has to say about that.
We've seen this crazy, useless border wall through Big Bend being proposed. When you already have a wall made by God with cliffs and mountain ranges, much better than anything humans could build.
Yeah, we had the settlers had that too, and they crossed right over it. The Rocky Mountains, they were on covered wagons. They crossed the barrier. What a foolhardy and ridiculous argument, to be quite honest. Foolhardy and ridiculous. Here's a little montage of this man who thinks he's going to be a senator and thinks that he's going he thinks that people are dumb enough to not believe their own ears.
God is non-binary. Trans children are God's children, made in God's own image. Modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes. In fact, there are 6. Did they teach you in Sunday school that Jesus Christ himself was a radical feminist?
If you thought those thoughts, if you, let alone espouse them and said them out loud, that there aren't 2 genders, there are actually 6, you should never, ever, ever be allowed to be in office, because there's something wrong with you. You're either just dumb as a box of rocks, or I don't even know who entertains these thoughts. I don't even know who gets convinced that there are 6 genders. Who does that? Who does it? I don't know anybody like that. Do you know anybody like that? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not going to fool anybody. That's going to do it for the show today, guys. Thank you so much for checking it out. Make sure to go to the podcast platforms of your choice and subscribe to The Rob Carson Show. God bless you, America's founded Donald Trump, our troops, and until tomorrow, which just happens to be Thursday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.